All right, all right. Positive energy all the time. Welcome to Pharaoh Said That. You know the deal. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Represent your city. As I get into another interesting conversation, trying to bring some awareness to the people. Trying to bring some awareness. You say you're headed to that point. I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Many of us could be headed to that point based on the economy, the way it's functioning. It's not looking good. If you're struggling, you're having some type of economical hardships, I'm here for you. I feel your pain. Okay, represent your city. We got Greensboro in the building. We got New Orleans in the building, and the beautiful and gorgeous Arnell. Ooh, cutie pie. Everybody, I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. To everybody on Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, good to see you all. We got Pittsburgh in the building. We got Jacksonville, Florida. We got everybody come in and rep your city. It's always nice to represent your city. To some of my new subscribers, I got some relatives and old friends watching me. The word has been going around. Nobody knew I was here to the beautiful and gorgeous Lady Linus representing Houston, Texas. Detroit is in the house, my second home. Shout out to all my people in Detroit. Taffy, hi if you're watching. Taffy is a very old friend, kind of like my big sister, my daddy's best friend, oldest daughter. That used to have to babysit us, kind of like we wasn't babies, but I guess children's sitters. I got to talk to her today. I haven't talked to her in a long time. So that was good. Who else recently found out about my live stream that's going to be watching? Somebody else. We got San Jose in the building. Represent your city. Represent your city. Can I speak any other languages? Not really. I mean, a little bit. But languages, if you don't do it all the time, you forget a little bit, but not much. Because it's just it'll be a waste of it'll be a waste of it'll be a waste of time and talent. I would never get to use it. Indianapolis is in the building. My brother Eric, salute, salute, King. Because I didn't stop. I don't. There's nowhere to use it. You see, G-Ra, when you live in California, right? You go by Mexico, you got a lot of people coming from Japan and Polynesia. When you're in New York, you got a lot of immigrants coming from Europe. When you're in Florida, you got a lot of people coming from Cuba and stuff like that speaking Spanish. But when you're in Chicago, this is America. You see what I'm saying? When they say the heartland, okay, like this is New York, 1 hour. This is California, this side. And Chicago's what? The heart. So this is America. So this is white and black Americans, millions. And so when you come here, you got to speak English because there's no comprende. Because we are not responsible to talk to you. We're not responsible to try to learn how to talk to you. You come to this country, you learn English. I'm not learning how to talk to you. Now, we're not doing that. You cannot come here and disrespect this country and want us to learn how to talk to you. If I go to France, I got to learn French. If I got to go to Mexico, I got to learn Spanish. Now, I'm not doing where you come here and I got to learn how to talk to you. No, that's not happening. We not learning how to talk to you. You came here. You want to become a citizen. Learn how to talk. If I go to Portugal, I'm going to learn Portuguese. I'm going to learn Portuguese. Wherever I go, I'm going to learn how to talk to them. This is how you do, even when it's a slight change. So when I lived in the South Pacific, I lived in Hawaii, I knew Mahalo, Shaka, and it's the kind, bruh. And I taught how the Hawaiians talk. They talk, because I'm in Hawaii. The U.S. can't totally get a grip on it because, like I say, G-Rock, the U.S. has areas, and so the U.S. is not mono. You understand? So the U.S. is not mono. So you can't expect New York and Chicago to do the same thing because New York got 8 million people. We got 2 million. And New York is on the ocean. So New York's going to have hella immigrants. So they're going to have to be able to talk to that amount of immigrants. If you're in Texas, you might have to learn some Spanish to communicate with somebody that just got there. But they still got to learn English, but it's more of them that have to learn English. Well, by the time you work your way into the center of the country, like Chicago, if you want to come to the middle of America, then you're going to have to be an American. You understand? You're going to have to be an American. You in America now. You ain't on the coast no more. See, when you go to California and you go up north, it's a whole bunch of Filipinos, right? I got a lot of Filipino friends in California because they live up Oakland, the Bay Area up there, Sacramento. It's a lot of Filipinos. So there's it's different immigrants in California, different immigrants in New York, and a different group of immigrants in Miami. It's not the same type of immigrants. It's the immigrants from the countries closest to those areas. But when you come to the heartland, to the one of the blackest cities in the world, boy, we don't want to. First off, in Chicago, we don't even have to see nobody else. Like in Chicago on the south side, if you live on the south side or the west side, you really don't even have to see white people. I know that's hard for a lot of blacks to understand. If you're on the south side of Chicago, you ain't gonna see nobody white hardly. Seriously. Including police. You're gonna see mostly black police. You're gonna see some white police every now and then. As people live on 115th and Halsted, Roseland, 116th Aberdeen, Morgan Park, Maple Park, ask them. Because Chicago's black from south all the way downtown. Now, there's some pockets like Hyde Park and stuff where you'll see multicultural. But we have actually black communities, big ones. Chicago has 77 neighborhoods. Chicago is huge. Most of your cities could fit in here 3, 4 times. Yeah, there's people in Chicago never left their side of town. That's a fact. And we have different dialects. So when I'm out west, they talk different. They got different dances, everything. The blacks on the west side got different dances and different restaurants. And then the blacks on the south side got different dances, different restaurants, different slang, different way they talk. It's like going to a whole nother city. You go downtown, you see everybody when you go downtown, but it's not like other cities. So when whites come to Chicago, they got to get used to it because whites in Chicago, they know they didn't see blacks before. So whites that's not from Chicago, when they see white from Chicago, how they not paying no attention to black people, they go, oh, I guess you don't pay no attention to black people here. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? See, white people in Chicago, they don't act like other places. They mind their business, we mind our business, and they don't do all that. We don't got no Karens. Yeah, we don't have Karens here. So tonight, I'm going to talk about a horrible situation where millions of Americans are living in cars. Can you see somebody up there once and never? Yeah, you're going to see people once and never. Yeah, you're going to see people once. A lot of people. No, we don't have any Karens here. We don't have Karens in Chicago. Do I think I've been all over Chicago? This big Pharaoh, I'm 68. Yes, I've been over the whole city. Yeah, I've been over the whole city. I haven't hung out because some areas you go and it'll be like Middle Easterners. But I've been over there shopping or doing business, silk screening or something, right? So I'm not walking around in every little area because certain areas, you know what I'm saying? You could go to an area and there's a bunch of Asians and Arabs and stuff like that. But I've been over there, but you won't be walking around there because there's really nothing for you to be there for. It's all their restaurants and it's houses. See, when you go in Chicago, you go to places just houses. So when you go in neighborhoods, it's just houses. There's nowhere to hang out. It's residential. You know what I'm saying? It's residential, so there is nowhere to hang out. There's the main street, and then there's where people live. Nobody just walks around blocks of houses. You know what I'm saying? You go to movie theaters or restaurants or something like that, but nobody goes up into where everybody's just houses. There's nothing there to see. It's just houses and garages. So in Chicago, there's lots, millions and millions of houses and garages and apartment buildings. So there's really nothing to see. So there's really nothing to see. So most people in Chicago, the only thing we see is where the shopping is at, where the lake is at, where the tourist stuff is at, where the restaurants is at. Other than that, you're not going to go all the way to somebody else's parks because there's parks in yours. Would they discriminate like Somalis here in Minneapolis? If you walking in another people's area? No, because you're not going to be walking around. But in the areas where they got stores, the Somalians came here. You got to understand, Somalians coming here, this not Minneapolis. So Somalians can go to Minneapolis, ain't nobody there, and they could just do that. Somalians come here, they gonna adjust at the airport. Yeah. They're gonna adjust. They gotta adjust. They're not gonna be able to do like Minneapolis, a little hole in the wall. There's they can go there and just, but if they come here, they gotta adjust. We don't have to adjust. They'll have to adjust. So if Somalians come to Chicago, they'll have to adjust. This is not the place to this ain't it. This not it. Now we got more gang members here than they got people in Minneapolis. There's more okay. There's more just one gang. There's more GDs in Chicago than there are Somalians. Just the GDs. I ain't gonna talk about the Vice Lords, the BDs, the Blackstone, the Four Corner Hustlers, and the breeds and just the GDs. There's more GDs in Chicago than there are Somalians in Minneapolis. So that should give you an idea of yeah, you don't want to come here playing like that. So there's never been a incident of a Karen ever in history. I mean, that's a trick question because I would have to stand downtown. So I think you should think about that question. Like, there is no way I would know. But I'm talking in terms of you ain't gonna go on the internet and see no Karen here. And I've never seen a Karen. I was born 1958. So Renee, if there was a Karen and I'm born 1958 and I'm everywhere, I would have bumped into one. But you got to understand, Karen and Keisha and Felicia don't mix. See, these other places that got Karens, they ain't got no whole lot of Felicias and Patricias. When Karen run into Pat or run into Debbie, it hit different. That's all I'm saying, Renee. Karen, now she ain't finna talk crazy to Debbie and Felicia and Pat and them. No, she's not gonna do that. You gotta understand, we are more aggressive. We're more aggressive. We're more aggressive than Karen. We real aggressive. We're not like the rest of you blacks. Like we in Chicago, we're very aggressive. So Karen, it'll be like, be what? like that. Soon as she just say a little something, it's all the way up. No, we don't got no Karens. Whites in Chicago teach other whites when they come here. So my white friends, I got white friends that's like college age in their 20s to 30s. And when their friends come here from another state, they teach them, bro, don't do this, bro, don't do that, bro, don't do that. They teach them. They teach them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, very, very much so. For like people like you that like to play a lot, definitely. Definitely. Come back tomorrow. Definitely. All that playing you do on the internet, yeah, that won't go. That won't go. All that stuff you be doing in my chat, yeah, that ain't. That's why you see I don't really get along with you and I always block you, because from where I'm at. Why is what? Why is what? Let me take a break. Ask your question. I'm gonna answer it after this break, okay? I'm gonna answer it after this break, and then we're gonna get to the conversation. It's good we taking our time. Uh, get ready, go subscribe to my Kick. I'm gonna be going live on Kick the first of next month. Yeah, they're not going to do that, because when you come to a city, you can pick up the vibes. But what you was asking me, why is that? Why is what? I don't know the question. Okay, let me see. You said why is that? Does somebody think you can run over folks, but Chicago would be able to handle that easily? Like I said, they don't really think they can run over folks. Those are small places. Those are small places. So Somalis are moving into small, non-aggressive places. Which Chicago's got non-aggressive areas, but Chicago, you just can't come to no gang city with that. Somalians don't be moving to no big gang city like Chicago. G-Rod, this you can pick up the vibe as soon as you get here. You can't play with nobody in Chicago. You can't play with blacks or whites. You cannot come here and play with white dudes in Chicago. Like that, whatever. I don't know about other cities, but when this city, you have to be respectful. You cannot come to Chicago and be disrespectful. It's gonna go bad. And the police, if they come here, the police gonna do them dirty here. See, right? They can't come here with that. The police gonna do them dirty. Then you're gonna get locked up with us. Ain't gonna be no Somalians in the county jail with you. So what you think? You get locked up in the county jail, then the word get out that you out here clowning. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of animal. It's a very respectful city. Chicago is a big business city and a gangster city. And you can just pick up the vibe when you get here. Well, first they'll be there, they come from the backwoods, you know what I'm saying? They don't got Somalians ain't lived, Minnesota, Minneapolis, when they come to Chicago, first off, they ain't going to all be able to live together like that. It ain't going to necessarily be no housing where they can all, it's going to be a Somalian live way over there and way over there. They ain't going to necessarily, it's not necessarily no open situation where they can all just move to one area. It would take them many years for they all get in one area. Because in Chicago, you got to rent where it's available. There ain't necessarily no place to rent for all y'all in one area. That's why the Venezuelans wasn't really that effective because they can't all live in one area. They got like out east, they got like one little spot, but they're not gonna have no Somalian neighborhood like that. These neighborhoods over here have been established a long time. So there's areas like, okay, there's no Pakistani neighborhood. The Pakistanis got to live with the Asians and the other Arabs, and all of them live in one area. Not, they don't have no area to themselves. The only ones got an area to themselves is the Mexicans in Little Village. But the other nationalities, they live all together. There's nowhere where you could just have just a Pakistani neighborhood. No, they don't work like that. They gotta live. The Pakistanis gonna be living with the Indians from India, the Asians, the Arab types. All them live together. Middle Eastern neighborhood. The only people that's got a pile is blacks, whites, and Mexicans. We the only one got areas. But when you leave downtown Chicago and drive south, that's all black. I mean, you ain't like racist. Racism is everywhere, but it's done systematic. But as far like a bigot, no. No. Chicago's a place that if you white and you come here and you're on the street calling a black out their name, a white person might beat you up. Facts. Because this a gangster city and the rules is mind your business. In Chicago, the rules is this is gangster. Mind your business. Because when you don't mind your business, everybody around you're going to get pissed. Because it's a city where everybody like to go and do their thing. White dude want to go with his wife and children, have a good time. They don't want you acting a fool. And everybody walks like this. Chicago's not a city where you looking in everybody's face. When I walk and a white dude and his family walk, him and his family in their own world, me and my family in our own world. We don't, when I'm walking by a college or somewhere, in Chicago, we don't pay nobody no attention. You in your zone and you walking this way. That's just the culture here. This is not a culture where right, because this is a mind your business. And if you ain't mind your business, you're going to piss everybody off in Chicago. This is strictly mind your business. That's the rules. If you don't, you're ruining everybody trying to have a good time. Everybody's trying to just go do what they got to do. When you go downtown, go to a restaurant, everybody's in there. They don't sit you in no black area. You sit down wherever you want to sit down in Chicago. We don't got no, they sit the blacks over. No, hell no. I go in a restaurant The waitress come, right? The waitress come, real talk. Me and the queen. The waitress start running, start walking over there, but I like this seat. I'd be like, I'm gonna sit over here. Can I sit over here? You know what the waitress gonna say? Sure. And I'm gonna go sit where I want to sit. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? The waitress gonna say sure. Cause you know what the waitress is on? The waitress trying to get money. And I'm gonna tip. The white dude gonna tip. The Arab Mexican gonna tip. The dude from Asia gonna tip. And that's all they care. Serve the people, get their money. They don't give a damn what color. We for the money. You drive Uber, you're gonna pick up everybody. I drove Uber for a while. Who was I picking up? The whole goddamn planet. They get in, they nice, I'm nice. I take them to their location. Have a good day. Thank you. That was good. They tip me, and I go pick up somebody else. That's why I love Chicago. I couldn't wait to leave Hawaii and get back. Hawaii is weird. Everybody looking at you. I couldn't wait to get back to LA and back to Chicago. That's why I can't live in those little small places. I can't live in your cities. Never. Because your cities is weird and people get away with weirdo stuff. It's not professional enough for me. A city like this, money, racism and money, that don't, nosiness, hate, the negative, that don't make no money. I made a fortune. Driving Uber. Yeah, I made a. Who I made? I made a fortune. They just kept hiring drivers. Then I just got too busy to do it. I was making other money. But yeah, I made a fortune. Yeah, that was, whew. If you know what you're doing, oh yeah. Whoa. Ooh, wee. You wouldn't even, I make more than people with really good jobs. I was making a fortune. A lot of money for an entrepreneur. Oh, it's a gold mine. And you could take it out. So you can go make $100, $200, $300 and take it out right then. Come on, where you could do that at. But tonight, let's get to the conversation. Millions of Americans are living in their cars. And this is a sad situation right here. Millions of Americans all across this country are living in their cars. Some are living in hotels, so they don't have to pay no gas bill. They don't have to pay no electric bill. They don't have to pay no water bill. And all they got to do is just pay basically rent, and they can get rates. They can get 30-day rates. And over the long run, all they save money. But some of them can't even afford to do that. So all across this country, one of the new things going on that nobody want to talk about is millions of people are living in their cars. When I say millions, I mean millions. Right? Millions of people are living in their cars. And that's not even, I'm not talking about campers. I ain't talking about campers. That would be more. Because campers, only going to be a couple of states where you're going to get away with that. That's too obvious. So they living in their cars. Lots of people live in storage units. Lots of people are living in storage units. Lots of people are living in hotels. But this conversation is strictly about cars. Lots of people, millions of people, are living in cars and vans. And when I say millions, I mean millions. They're going to work, they leaving work, they going, they parking, they sleeping in the car here, they wait till the store is closed, they go to those parking lots, park and sleep in there. So they'll move. They'll park here and sleep, then they'll park there and sleep. Many of them, they get a gym membership and they'll go like to LA Fitness, and that's where they'll shower and wash up. They'll go in the washroom and wash up. A lot of them have to take bird baths, right? So a lot of them have to take bird baths. So I'm talking about millions. Let's look at the facts. Millions of Americans are residing in their vehicles out of necessity, driven by soaring housing costs, inflation, and lack of affordable options. This trend often affects everyday people, including middle-class families and the newly homeless, for whom their car is the last remaining asset. Now, one of the things that's making that happen is if you get an apartment and you fall behind and you get evicted, they put that on your record and nobody will rent to you, which should be illegal. Once you get an eviction, they put that on some type of record that realtors can see it. This should be totally illegal. So they have a list that they put you on. That should be illegal. There should be no way nobody can go see that. But when you go apply for an apartment, they got a place they can go to see if you've had previous evictions. And I think even if you had evictions, if you didn't tear up the apartment or do nothing like that, you just fell on hard times, it should be illegal for them to deny you. But you can't get nowhere to live. There was this one black family, the husband lost his job, something happened to the wife's income, they got evicted and they couldn't find nowhere to live. Even when they got themselves back together and found more jobs, nobody would rent to them. That should be illegal. And if it was going to happen, it should be like 3 months, maybe 3 months, at the most, maybe 90 days. But no, it's like permanent pretty much. And there's no clear way on how to get that off your record. I kid you not. I kid you not. So they got people living under horrible situations, and their car is their last remaining asset. Those 7 years. 7 years. That's inhumane. That should be illegal. There's no way you going to get behind and can't find nowhere to live. The scope of the crisis, rapid increase in certain cities, particularly in states like California. The number of individuals living in vehicles have doubled in recent years. In some urban areas, up to 1 in 4 homeless individuals reside in cars. Demographic shift. While homelessness is often associated with with the visibly unhoused, this demographic includes working professionals, the elderly, and families who cannot keep up with rent or mortgage payments. The scope of the crisis. Once again, rapid increase in certain cities, particularly in states like California. The number of individuals living in vehicles has doubled in recent years. In some urban areas, up to 1 in 4 homeless individuals reside in cars. Demographic shift, once again, while homelessness is often associated with the visibly unhoused. This demographic includes working professionals, the elderly, and families who cannot keep up with rent or mortgage payment. The challenges of car living, legal roadblocks. Many states and municipalities enforce strict overnight parking bans. In some regions, sleeping in a vehicle is actively penalized by law enforcement, making it difficult for car dwellers to find a safe and quiet place to rest. Everyday logistics. A primary hurdle is finding safe locations to park. In addition, vehicle dwellers have to constantly figure out access to basic needs like showers, often at gyms or community centers, and safe food storage and sanitation. So they have a hard time, right, storing their food. They have a hard time using the restroom. They have a hard time taking showers. They have a totally hard time with food and with sanitation. A very hard time. And this is something that's really not discussed, and I wanted to talk about it because I feel like a lot of content creators, they're going for the easy conversations for views, and the more difficult conversations they're not going for, and they're training the audience to go for things that aren't that informative or won't encourage you to fight for change. So these type of conversations I be having are kind of like overlooked because people are being, programmed to watch gossip, to click on live streams with famous people's names in the titles, that type of thing, especially the men. The men have been programmed for gossip. So I wanted to highlight this situation because it's bad. Challenges of car living, legal roadblocks. Many states and municipalities enforce strict overnight parking bans. In some regions, sleeping in a car is actively penalized by law enforcement. See, that's horrible. And they can't find nowhere to shower. See, this is bad. This is really horrible. Really horrible. Community and municipal responses. Safe parking programs to help combat the crisis. Many municipalities and nonprofits operate safe overnight parking programs. These designated lot provided a secure, legal place to sleep overnight, typically offering access to restroom security and case management to help people to permanent housing. So they do have organizations out trying to help you find somewhere to park and sleep, provide showers, and provide services to help you get housing and to make sure you can stay employed, right? You see what I'm saying? So homelessness is everywhere across the United States, everywhere. A portion of the homelessness are those with mental health issues. So they're not qualified mentally to hold a job, to go to programs. They kind of out just wandering in the streets. It's, mental. And then a lot of people that have certain type of mental and learning disabilities end up with substance abuse. So now you have somebody that's already got some mental problems and they have substance abuse. So their whole day, they're mostly looking for substances for their addiction. And they have mental issues. So they're just out there. They're sleeping wherever. And pretty soon there's going to be a new disease, right? That is going to be developed based on homelessness, based on the mixture of the people, the sanitation, the human waste, the food waste, the rats, the raccoons, the possums, all urinating in the same area, all in the same type of unclean situation that's primed to create a disease, an infection, a new infection. It's just a matter of time because we also have animals now living in unnatural areas. Coyotes and white foxes are coming to the cities looking for food as we destroy the wilderness more. So you're getting coyotes, foxes, raccoons, all kind of rats, possums, deer, and many other creatures migrating to the city, scavenging garbage cans and stuff, looking for food. Raccoons are taking over people's houses. A raccoon will come to your house and do a surveillance. So raccoons will come to your property. They will do a surveillance. And when raccoons walk through, they got a great memory. So they survey everything. Then they come back again and they survey everything. Where's the garbage can? Is the top on the garbage can? Is there's holes? There's places to get in the house. Can they get on the roof? Can they get in the attic? Where's the food at? And they'll keep coming. And they have the whole neighborhood mapped out in their brain. It's a fact. Look it up. And they will eventually try to move in. They'll begin to go in the garbage can every night. And they don't scare off. So just because you come out and holler at them, that don't matter. They coming back because they have marked that in their mental as a place where they can eat and they're going to come. So we're having that problem. We have deer running around. We have coyotes here in Chicago running around. Some of them are pretty big, almost as big as wolves, but they're just real skinny. That's the only way you could tell they're a coyote. Raccoons, all kind of animals. Rats like crazy. And a lot of the homeless people is providing trash. You know what I'm saying? You say my advertiser's crazy. Well, people like you don't donate. So I got to make money. If I depend on you to support the channel, I'd be just talking for broke. So you just got to deal with the advertisement. You know what I'm saying? You want me to talk for free. I get it. No, that's how I get paid, for my time. And you don't support the channel, none. So be quiet. So all across this country, that's a big problem. And in other places too. Yeah, that's a problem. And the homeless situation, people don't really care. Because these people know that rent is too high. But we live in a world where as long as you're making money and the rent goes up, you don't care. So we live in a world where people don't care about their fellow man. They don't care about other people. That's the world we live in. Because everybody knows that the rent is too high. All across this country, in the big cities like Chicago, Dallas, a 2-bedroom shouldn't be no more than $1,400. A 1-bedroom should be $1,200. A 2-bedroom should not be no $1,900, $2,000, $2,220. Everybody in their sense know that's too much. Why would you charge us $25,000, $2,000 for rent for a 2-bedroom and take more money out of our pocket so you could get rich? And this is the money we could use to go to dinner, to support the other businesses. And so in America, what they're doing, they're letting the people rob us for property taxes, mortgage, and rent, which is making people have less money for bowling, movies, restaurants. So guess what? Bowling alleys closing, restaurants closing, clothing stores closing, because the people don't have any money to support the other businesses. So while they think they're robbing the people, they're robbing themselves, because everything's going to close. Because you're forcing people to just spend all their money for rent, electricity, a phone bill, internet. So they spend all their money on that, which is driving everything else out of business. And once everything go out of business, the renter going to lose money, because you ain't going to be able to rent the apartment from that, because it ain't going to be no neighborhood worth that. You look at downtown Chicago, stores are closing on State Street left and right. You know why? Because they robbing the people. So people just going to sit down and keep their money. Then the same downtown you charging a lot for, nobody going to be down there, and you're going to have a bunch of empty buildings with nobody renting. That's not going to happen. You're going to lose everything, because guess what? The greedy become the needy. I'll repeat that. Remember this saying. The greedy become the needy. So when they don't lower the prices, they destroy their own economic ecosystem because people going to stop spending extra money. Like women. Right now, if you're a woman and you like to go out and spend money, you're not gonna be nobody's woman. I don't want you. I don't want you. I'm fine with you going to find somebody that's gonna spend the money you want them to spend it. And good luck with that. That's fine. I'm not gonna compete with what you want. You go ahead. That's a fact. That's why since I've been single, I'm not dating right now because I'm not dating no fool. I'd rather have a whole lot of money and be single than to date you and live from paycheck to paycheck because you's a fool and you don't never get enough and you just work and spend and you think I'm gonna work and spend like that. I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not. I don't want to go see that stuff. No. I only want to go do stuff that I absolutely want to do. I don't live where I feel like every weekend I got to find something to do. And this is something foundational Black Americans got to stop doing. You got to stop saying it's the weekend and running trying to find something. There's nothing to do. You going out your way trying to find something to do because you say it's the weekend. So you working like a slave, and then on the weekend you trying to find a way to give your money away. And you just going to a bunch of nonsense. And some of you men, you taking your woman out to dinner, she can't even cook. She can't even cook. Real talk. Because you're trying to find something to do. And the reason you're trying to find something to do, because psychologically, they got you on a treadmill like a gerbil. So they got you working. So you want to reward yourself for the slave type situation they got you in working. So I got you work, reward, work, reward, work, reward. And then soon as something happens, now you don't have the nest egg or anything to do anything. And I know people that's got really good jobs. And 90% of them are dipping into their 401ks. Facts. Facts. People that should have a whole lot of money in their 401ks don't. They keep dipping in it. They keep dipping in it, dipping in it, dipping in it. They ain't got to start all over. By the time they get ready to retire, they ain't going to have nothing in their 401k. Look, you can, listen, I could be with a woman. She not too happy because I don't go, 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 go. She want to go, 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 go. I don't want to go, 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 go. We aren't really matching, so we break up. But I always be friends with them because usually they got a baby. What do you know? Guess who be asking me for money before the year is over? And we ain't, you know what? Her. You know why? She don't save no money. So now, just to be nice, and because it's my children's mother, I got to send her money. But here's the thing. I shouldn't send you nothing because you planned me messed up because you wanted me to run around and not have no money. So now I'm sacrificing, you playing, and now when things hit the road, you want me to take my sacrifice and send it to you. You want me to take my money that I'm sacrificing. I'm not doing the bozo circus stuff you're doing. And you really think you're doing something and you think I'm boring. But then when you hit a brick in a wall, when you hit a hole in the road, now the same person that you want to run around that ain't, how dare you ask me to send you $500? This is what be going on. And as soon as you get back out the hole, you're going to start running around like a jackrabbit again. Because it's a slave mentality. Because anybody got any sense know that is 12 months in a year. And there is not even 12 good things to do in a year. If you say it is, you're a damn lie. You a damn lie. Out of 12 months, going out to dinner 3 times, 4 times, because you go supposed to be cooking at home and enjoying home. You go get a nice home, nice television, nice everything, but you don't want to be at home. Who goes and get a nice apartment or a nice home and go to work and never want to be home? Come on, I don't want to be in the house, but you got all the money invested in the house. There ain't nothing to do that don't cost no money. Nothing. There ain't nothing to do. What? What could you go do? What could you go do January that you're going to want to do again February? There ain't nothing. There is nothing to do where it don't cost no money that's going to be better than staying home where you spending money. You already spent money at home. You spent money to be home. You spent money to be here for 30 days. And you telling me you can't entertain yourself at home? If you cannot entertain yourself at home, you are a loser. You will most likely go broke. You're most likely going to go broke. Basically, you're going to go broke, and you're a fool because that's what you got a house for. That's go buy a pool table, go play some cards. So you telling me that you can go to a building and have a good time and not have a good time in the building you're paying rent for or mortgage? Really? What can you do in somebody else's building that's so fun every week that you can't do in your own building? Why is you going out here buying drinks when you can have a little bar at home and have a drink and chill at home? You can play music at home. You can play cards at home. Your ancestors didn't do that. They played bid whist at the house. They went to each other's house, played bid whist. The older men in your house, they had a pool table. They had a ping pong table. Wasn't no suckers out here brainwashed, running your goofy ass up and down the street like an idiot all the time. You got a good point. They're not going to give me a dime, but they're going to go out there. They'll watch me for free. They won't give me a dime. But they'll go out there and give the system money constantly. Seriously, they won't support me like that. Which really don't matter. I'm going to get mine. Got to get mine. You got to get yours. But that's where our people is at. I entertain people and keep you with something to listen to and watch every day. I don't get I don't get a goddamn quarter. But you'll go out there and you'll give it to the restaurant. You'll give it to some people. There's nothing. And you can't tell me nothing. Don't even talk to me about going somewhere because I live in one of the biggest cities in the United States. You understand? Listen, bro, this is what you do. Like I said, you don't support the channel. So obviously you're not enjoying it. So what you need to do, I'm going to help you out. Come back tomorrow. I'll unblock you later. There you go. Problem solved. You don't have to see no more commercials. See how easy that was? See how easy that was? Problem solved. That wasn't that hard, was it, Jay Blow? Look how easy that was. You don't have to see no more advertisements. You don't have to see nothing. So, you know, homelessness and those situations are going to go up because Black Americans are not practicing the proper fiscal responsibility. Okay? You're not focusing on your money. You know what I'm saying? You got to stand on business. Let's take a break. So the reality is you should have enough money to live 2 years if you don't get another dime. You should be able to sustain for 2 years. You should have enough to pay all your bills for 2 years. Now, you don't have to go that long, but you should at least be able to go 6 months. You should have enough money that if you fall on hard times, your job closed down, you get laid off unexpectedly, you should be able, you should have been in sat still a lot, and you should have saved enough money where in hard times you can have your food, your rent or mortgage, your car note, your car insurance, your phone bill, all them thousands of dollars, because it is thousands. You should have enough to do that for no less than 6 months, preferably 12. Because I know people lost their job and they ain't necessarily get another job in 6 months. Not another good job. And see, they don't tell you that. There are a lot of times you can get another job, but not necessarily a good job. You say 10K should hold you over. Okay, let's look at that. $2,000 a month for rent. $100 for phone. That's $2,100. What's your car note? Let's say I'll give you a cheap one. It's $200. That's $13. That's $2,300. Car insurance, $2,400. phone bill, $2,500. Food, that's going to be $300, $2,800. So we're looking at $3,000 at the least. $3,000, right? Time 5 months is $15,000. Seriously. $3,000 a month for 3 months is $9,000. So if you got $10,000, if you don't get that job in 12 weeks, you're going to be homeless. You understand? So you need to be trying to have $50,000 saved up on your way to $100,000. This is the hustler mentality. A hustler, we don't lowball. I'm trying to tell them. I'm trying to tell them out there. We don't lowball. You need at least, hey, would you tell them at least 50K? No, it's not a lot. You're throwing that money away. You're throwing 50K away like it ain't nothing. Just add up the fund you have. You're throwing that away. You're throwing that away. All you got to do, just add up. This is what you do. Write down all your expenses. Every time you spend money, write it down and what you bought it for. Write down everything you got to do. Write that in a list. You got a phone, you got notes. Go on your list, write down everything you got to pay when you pay it. Then write down every time you buy a piece of candy or stuff that ain't a necessity, write that down. Write down every expense for your car, every time you put gas in the car, every phone bill. If you got life insurance policy or you got a policy for protect your belongings at your home, your internet bill, every necessary bill you pay every 30 days within that, because another thing is they don't give you your bills on one day. Y'all ain't noticed that? You know, your bills don't come in on the first. This bill comes. Y'all ain't noticed that? Like, boom, the first comes. Time to pay your rent or mortgage, right? Then your phone bill might be on the 5th. Pay the phone bill on the 5th. Then the internet bill might be on the 9th. Y'all ain't noticed that? And you paying somebody all the way up to like the 20th or the 20-something, right? So you really can't keep up. Every time you look up, you paying somebody. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I'm constantly paying somebody. It's a whole lot of people getting little bits of money here and there. And don't have no little subscriptions to nothing. Because they taking them little subscriptions. And then they finally stop. By the time they stop, you got about 7 or 8 days, and you owe again. They ain't got 50K in the bank, but they got 50K that they blow in 4 months. That's the question. How much money are you blowing? That's the question. How much money are you blowing? That's the question. And that's just if it's you. If you got a wife and she got a car and you got a car, that's 2 car insurances, 2 car notes, and so on and so forth. That's not counting maintenance if something breaks. It's not counting that. Those surprise expenses. So in other words, what does that mean? That means you got to sit down and stack your money, and you got to go without any extra stuff until you get a certain amount of money, then go and start doing that stuff. But make sure you doing ain't got dip in your money. You cannot do no paycheck to paycheck and then turn around and say, I don't got $50,000 saved. But for sure, you blew $50,000. For sure. For sure, you spent 50,000. For sure. For absolutely sure, the average American is blowing 50,000 like it ain't nothing. That is for sure. They just ain't adding it up. That's for sure. Out of so many months, you blowing 50,000. That's for sure. That's absolutely for sure. That little money be adding up. Clothes, you're trying to buy some new shoes, and that's without kids. That's just 2 adults or 1 adult. Don't throw the kids in it. 2026. Just one person. Let's just take you. How much is your grocery bill? How much you gonna spend on groceries? How much? How much you gonna spend on groceries? I'm plant-based. I'm a vegan. I'm plant-based. So when I go to Whole Foods or go to the fruit market, whatever, it's hit me. It hit me. Just when I go pick up stuff to get by, it's $50. You wouldn't know what to do if you looked at 50 racks. You don't got the you not, you know what I'm saying? Listen. I was hustling. So as a hustler, a lot of times when we start hustling, we start out from zero. So we'll take $150 and we'll buy something and we'll flip that to 300. I'm gonna give it to you real. We don't be starting out with no lot of money all the time. We get 150, we flip that to 300. So in the meantime, what we doing? We eating peanut butter and jelly and some kind of water that we can mix some in it with some sweetener. We not spending no money to eat or nothing. We got 3 pair of Dickies, a pair of sneakers, white tees, white socks. We washing that stuff and putting it back on. We wearing them Dickies for 2 days, right? Period. You looking at me crazy because I got on the same Dickies for 3 days. Then I put the other ones on. I got 150. I flipped that. Then that's 300. Now, for the 150 investment, I can make 300. For the 300 investment, I can make 600. But for the 600 investment, I don't make 1,200. I might make 24 because the more you spend, the bigger your profits is. So it's 24. Girls want to go out. They want me to waste my money. But no, I'm not going back and get another 24, another 24, another 24. I'm not going nowhere because I'm going to take this 24. This 24 going to bring me probably 6. Am I going somewhere? No. This 6 could turn into 18 or 24,000. I'm going to sit still. Next thing you know, I got 50, 75,000. Why? Because I sat my ass down. I'm not going out with no women. I'm not doing none of that. And the same thing can happen with a job. Money attracts. Listen to me, Eric. Money does this. So if you're going to work and you ain't saving nothing, then everything's being sucked away. Right? So everything's being sucked away if you ain't saving nothing. But when you start to save, money attracts money. So once you start to save money, because the money either pulls away or comes in. So once you start to save money, then it starts to pull in this way. Now, as the money is pulling in, something happens and some money go back out. And this is why people be in a bad situation and homeless and stuff like that, because you're saving a little bit of money, but you're playing around and the brakes go out in the car. Bam. You got to have a car to go to work. The dude told you can fix the brakes for $750, for $450. So now you got to pay the $450 to get the brakes fixed. If you don't get the brakes fixed, you can't go to work. You can't get that money. Well, you've been living from paycheck to paycheck. So now you're struggling to get the brakes fixed. See, now if you would have sat on your money and sat your ass down, you might have had $2,000 early in your savings. Brakes go out, get the brakes fixed, and go sit your ass down and get that money back and save some more money and some more money, because it could have been $1,500 to get your car fixed. But you're living from paycheck to paycheck. You want to have fun because you don't believe nothing going to break. You don't believe nothing's going to happen. So you don't care. And this is how people are ending up homeless. You understand? This is how people's ending up homeless. Brakes is real expensive, especially if you got to get rotors and stuff all the way around. Yeah, brakes is high. Not if you just got to get brake pads, but if you got to get brakes, you got a nice car. Yeah, brakes gonna cost you because you gotta pay for the parts and the labor. That's a fact. A brake job if the brakes is messed up where you just been dry, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, brakes gonna hit you brakes can hit you for $400 easy. That's a fact. That's a fact. Look. You see a line said brakes ain't that much, right? Hold on, watch this. I'm gonna show you. People be over here don't know what they talk about. I searched it. How much is the average brake job? What did it say? What did it say? The average cost of a brake job is $400 to $700 front and back for parts and labor at a professional repair shop. If you need all 4 brakes replaced, you can expect the total to range from $800 to $1,400, depending on the size of your vehicle and the specific parts. Checkmate. Now you see somebody that obviously is broke, that ain't outside like that. What's his name? The burning bush, broke, ain't had no cars, definitely ain't got no car. Because he said a brake job ain't $400. He said brake job ain't $400. He don't have a car. What's his name? The burning bush. He don't have a car. He don't have a car. That boy ain't got no car. Telling on himself. Don't let your transmission go out. Don't let your transmission go out. Don't let your transmission go out. Okay? Don't let your alternator go out. This big man conversation over here. That's not for lanes. What's your name? That's not for lane. What's your name? The burning bush. It's not for lanes. This is big people. It's big grown people conversation. You know what I'm saying? This out your league. You a little boy. Look, an alternator replacement job typically costs $400 and $1,000, with the national average hovering around $750 to $850. This breaks down to $150 to $500 for the part and $200 to $500 for labor. Usually a 1 to 3 hours job, depending on your vehicle's make and model. Real talk. Boy, if you ain't got a couple $1,000 put aside for your vehicle, you out of there, and you absolutely need your vehicle, you out of there. Listen, when y'all come over here, don't listen to nobody else. Listen to me. Because some of these people in the chat, you don't know them. They might be living with their mama, and they might not even have a car. Don't listen to them. Especially ones come talking rude. You know they not about that like that. Don't pay no attention to no dudes like that. You know they not like that in real life. You know they not talking to people like that. I'm telling you what's real. You need to have at least $20,000 saved and counting. Goal being $50,000, and when you get to $50,000, you're trying to get to $20,000. And you could save a little bit at a time and get there. Nah, he was just trolling. He was trolling. He might be a little boy at his mama's house or something. You know what I'm saying? He was just trolling. There be a lot of people on here playing, so don't take him serious. He might be, you don't know how old he is. He might be 15. He might even have a car. It's trolls. It's just a part of the internet. Don't pay that no attention. I just be dissing them so everybody else can learn. It don't bother me. I make sure everybody, I use them for learning and show everybody this dude don't know what he talking about. Don't listen to people like that. Listen. When you save money, it goes up and then it goes back down. So you have to really know that you're going to save it. Something's going to happen. It's going to go down. You have to be mindful of your spending to get it. It's going to go up again and go back down. It's going to go up again and go back down. And you just got to be patient and get it up. If not, somebody's going to encourage you to play. And everybody I know that play, They go through turmoil, turmoil, turmoil. They broke, they depressed. They go from plan to broke, from plan to broke. Right now, I know people struggling, broke, and listen. Let me explain something to y'all about homelessness and all of this. Once you go in the hole, it is not easy to get out the hole. You say you replace your own brake pads, but this what I be saying, brothers and them be come over here talking, but I am talking to females. So when the dudes come over here, they be rude because they don't understand that I'm talking to males and females females ain't gonna do no brake job. So when I see brothers that be interrupting what I'm saying and putting their personal life in something when I'm talking to 150, 200 people, the brothers need to just be quiet. Let me do what I'm doing. Because this a brother could be a mechanic, but why would he speak for everybody when everybody ain't no mechanic? On top of that, to fix your car, gonna cost you a certain amount of money and tools. This the big league. So y'all listen, these people telling you about fixing their own car, they have invested in tools. So if you don't have those tools, don't listen to them because they're still not including the fee for the tools. And tools cost money. Okay? So don't listen to nobody telling you something when I'm trying to talk to you. Listen to me. This is called Pharaoh said that. It ain't called these other people said nothing. When somebody come tell you about doing a brake job, that costs tools. Yeah, it costs serious tools. Seriously. And if you're not a mechanic, you don't even know how to use tools or do tools like that. Like me, I'm a musician. So I don't stick my fingers in no, you know what I'm saying? My fingers make money. Listen, I'm gonna teach y'all some real stuff. My fingers make money, right? I'm a musician. I do things with my fingers. So I'm not putting my fingers in no cranes and stuff like that. I pay somebody to do that. So we live in a world where you cook. So you cook food, and the people that don't cook, they come by the food. He a carpenter. So you a mechanic, he's a carpenter. He comes do your carpenter work, you do his mechanic work. This one do the cooking, this one do the roofs, this one lay the concrete. So it's an ecosystem, right? And so some of these people will come interrupt me like you can do all of this, like you got the tools to fix your own roof, fix your own car. Don't listen to some of these people because first they rude by interrupting me. They rude. They don't have respect for the rest of the audience, right? I'm telling you the facts. If anybody knows something, they need to go get a channel, right? And then they need to teach over there and stop trying to shortcut and get in the chat and teach. Because you're not me. Because guess what? We talk about money. It's costing me money to do this. It's costing me more money to be on StreamYard and to present myself on YouTube. It's costing me more money than somebody on their phone. I'm trying to teach y'all about money. This costs me money. You can't have these graphics and you can't do this. This costs money. This is not free. Seriously. Because I'm trying to teach y'all economics because this is about people living in their cars and it's all economics. So what does that got to do with this? So if I don't stay on my game and I end up homeless, I got to start doing my lives on the phone. My whole standard of presentation got to go down because this costs money. So if I don't keep myself economically on top of the game, I can't live stream. So many of the times, if you lose your money and you don't take care of your money, you lose your housing and you also lose the other ways of making your money. I got a few friends right now, they're flat broke, and it's hard for them to even find jobs because they don't even got enough money to find the jobs. I got friends right now, they lost their job. Their car broke down. They can't get their car back running, right? When they can't get their car back running, they also so broke they barely could keep their phone on. So if they phone on, they can't get job offers and stuff. Have I ever been homeless? No. You know why I've never been homeless? Because I don't play with my money. I save my money. I say I am very aware of my mortgage or my rent. I'm very aware of it. So if my rent is $1,500 a month or $2,000, I'm very aware. 2, 4, 6, 8. Very aware. I'm very aware. And I'm getting my money futuristically. I don't want enough money just to pay my rent this month. I know my rent coming back up on the first, and then the first, and then the first. So I focus. I don't feel like I will not play if I cannot afford it. So I'm not fortunate. The people that's not doing this are playing. It's that simple. If you are not able to pay your bills and survive, you're playing. I'm not fortunate. You're slacking. You're playing. And you're playing and playing and playing, and you're going to end up homeless. This is a very, very, very serious conversation. This is like not no type of joke. Because the economy could keep collapsing. And it could get to the point that if you don't save no money now, I don't know. Because we're looking at a situation where all of us could be homeless because even the money you save could end up running out if this system collapses. If this system collapses and you got enough money to survive for a year, but the system don't come back within that year, you're going to be homeless too. On top of that, they're raising prices. How much is gas now? A gallon? $6? How much you think food's going to be with the tariffs? How much you think rent and mortgage and food and electricity and all that's going to be in 6 months from now? This ain't no joke. Approximately 771,480 people experience homelessness on any given night in the United States. That means over 1 million, because you know they can't count them, correct? So that means probably 1.5 million, right? That's why they say approximately, because they cannot count the homeless people because they don't know where the homeless people is at. So if they estimate 771,480, almost 772,000, that means easily 1 million to 2 million experience homelessness on any given night in the United States. This figure, the highest documented since the federal government began data collection in 2007, represents a historic surge driven by housing shortages, the expiration of pandemic era safety nets, and inflation. So they're telling you that the inflation and the cost of living is making people homeless. Geographic breakdown and demographics. Homelessness is highly concentrated in specific regions and states. California leads the nation with approximately 187,000 individuals, making up roughly 1/4 of the total U.S. homeless population. Now, you see, we just read, they say any night, 177,000. But now they telling you just in California, it's 187,000. See? Did they not just say in the whole country, any night, there's only 177,000? But yet they turn around in this statistic and show you in California alone, it's 187,000, which means that last statistic was wrong. I told y'all, didn't I? That 177,000 statistic was wrong. I told you. Because it can't be 177,000 any night in the U.S. when it's 187,000 in California alone. New York has over 158,000 unhoused people. The majority of New York's homeless people is sheltered, aided by citywide right to shelter policy. Washington and Florida, both states record over 31,000 unhoused individuals. What about Chicago, Pittsburgh, Dallas, Houston, Miami, Phoenix, so on and so forth? What about Ohio? What about the whole state of Illinois? What about Texas? What about Mississippi, Alabama? Homeless. Who is most affected? While the overall homeless population has increased, specific groups show differing trends. Families and youth. The number of homeless families with children and accompanied youth has spiked significantly. So families with children is finding themselves having to sleep in cars, vans, or wherever. Veteran homelessness has decreased by more than 55% over the last decade and continues to decline in many major cities due to sustained housing assistance and community-focused outreach, which is a lie. The reason that the homeless situation for veterans went down because they didn't passed away, okay? Because they didn't passed away. They got all kind of wounds from war. Veterans, how long? Vietnam, how old would they be? They've been passed away. Veterans from Desert Storm, how old would they be? They didn't passed away. And so you got to read between the lines. Yeah, it didn't went down because you ain't got no whole lot of veterans left. So approximately 300,000 women and girls experience homelessness in the United States, accounting for about 38% to 40% of the nation's total homeless population. The remaining population primarily consists of cisgender men, with a small percentage, around 1.2%, identifying as transgender, non-binary, or gender non-conforming. Regardless, They homeless. 300,000, which I already told y'all, if they say 300,000, that's probably easily 600,000 to a million because they're not counting these homeless people. Sometimes people's money may be low or worse due to being target of robbery, not because they did constantly save. Not true. People's money be messed up because they be messing money up. You might run if ain't nobody gonna rob you for all your money. So if you get robbed for $2,000, why you didn't have 10? Why you didn't have no money in the bank? Because you can't get robbed for your money in the bank. When you run into hard times and you broke, it's because you did not save and you played instead of saving. And listen, I'm not trying to come down on y'all. I'm telling you what I know. I am 68 years old. And what we do, me included, we have a tendency to live like everything is all right. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. We have a tendency to live like everything is all right. And especially in a relationship. And when I get in a relationship with a woman, she gonna have a tendency to think she want to go here, she want to go there, and if she don't spread it out. These are facts. When people go enjoy themselves, they don't spread it out enough to save. Listen, when you go to work 5 days a week, you feel like slavery. So you want to reward yourself on the weekend. And that's what make you broke. These are facts. I started working in 1976. Listen to me. The system is set up where when you work, you feel like you owe yourself a reward. So you work, reward, work, reward, work, reward. But a lot of times that reward money was that you spent was supposed to be savings. So you're spending money that you cannot afford to spend. Let's take a break and I'll finish this conversation. This is serious. Sit here and listen. I'm going to break it down. I'm not going to take it to the streets because you might not be able to understand. So let's take it in terms of business. In business, the more you buy, the way cheaper it is. So let's say you're selling sodas. When you first buying a few sodas to sell, the amount you buy is not going to equal twice as many sodas. So when you first start out, the amount you buy is only going to equal one and a half as many. So if you buy 6 dozen, when you sell them, that's not going to equal 12 dozen. Okay? That's going to equal 9 dozen. So when you buy 6 dozen, that's going to equal 9 dozen. Now, maybe when you get to the point you buy, I'm just making up numbers. When you get to the point you buy 12 dozen, that might equal 24 dozen, right? So now you're doubling your money. But it gets to the point, if you just sit still and save your money, right? When you sit still and save your money, right? Now, when you buy 10 cases, it don't equal 20 cases. 10 cases might equal 60 cases. So look at your increase in profits. So the person that buy 12 dozen and or buy 6 dozen and sell them and end up with 9 and waste their money, buy 6 dozen and sell them and equal 9 and spend and party, and then buy 6 dozen and get 9 and party, and they going around and around with 6 dozen. If anything happen, they gonna go broke. But the person that sits down don't party, by 6 dozen, 12 dozen, 1 case, 10 cases, 30 cases, they end up rich. They end up with so many cases that if you're buying your sodas at 50 cents a soda and you only buy so much, right? They're going to be 50 cents a soda, but you're going to have more. But if you save your money now, they're going to eventually be $1 a soda, what you paying for them. Could get down to 50 cents a soda, what you paying for them, but you still selling them for the $2. So if you're paying $1 a soda, right? When you're selling them $1 a soda, right? Right? And you sell $1 a soda and you sell it for $2, you double your money. But if you get it down to 10 cents a soda and selling it for $2, look at the profits. The business the same way today. The point is, if you save your money, you can dig out the hole. If you don't save your money, you like a gerbil running. Now, we had somebody say, life was different when I was little. Dummy. Because I'm alive today. See, y'all got to listen. So let me ask you something. Is what I'm saying based on 1968? I'm born 1958. Who believes what I'm saying is based on 58, 68, 78, 88, 98? Who believes what I'm saying? Because channel pick is slow. I just keep letting him come over here. He never learned nothing. I keep giving him a chance to learn. He just constantly talking. I'm just going to have to finally not let him over here. He's not learning anything. He's just wasting space for the rest of y'all. He's becoming a distraction to the chat. I ain't going to bring him back no more. But who believes what I'm telling you today is based on 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Who believes that? Because this guy, Channel Pick, said things is different than when I was little. The only thing is different is instead of 50 cents a soda, you just change it to 10 cents a soda. But it's going to still be the same principle. 10 cents a soda, going to turn to 20 cents a soda. And if you save your money, you can get it down to a penny a soda. It's the same thing. You can change the numbers. It's the same thing. So the more you sit still and save your money, the more you can get done for cheaper. Let's take a bill, cable bill. Every month your cable bill is $80. You mess your money up. So next month when the $80 comes, you can't pay it. You get the money to pay it, but it's $87 because it's a $7 late fee. So because you didn't save your money, right, then it's costing you an extra $7. So multiply that by being behind and not saving your money. Multiply that by months and years. Sit your ass down and save your money. So you say, well, I shouldn't go out to dinner. Yes, you could go out to dinner, but you got to start moving like a hustler. I go out to dinner, but my dinners are planned based on so much money. So much money got to come in for per dinner. You understand? It can't be money, dinner, because then it's money in, money out, money in, money out, money in, money out, right? So it's got to be money, dinner. So money in, money in, money in, money out, money in, money in, money in, money out. So let's look at that. You right here. Money in, money out. Money in, money out. Money in, money out. You're in the same place. But if you do money in, money in, money in, money out, are you in the same place? No, you're moving up. Let's go the way where you can see. Money in, money out. Money in, money out. Pay period comes, spend money, make money, spend money. Make money, spend money. So you say, well, I want to enjoy myself. You can, but you got to make money, spend money. Make money, spend money. Make money, spend money. So now you're still going to dinner, but you're going to dinner where you're still getting ahead. You're not going out the hole, in the hole, out the hole, in the hole, out the hole. No. This is how you hustle. This is straight from the street. You gotta stack it up, spend. Stack it up, spend. If you want to spend this much, you need to go all the way out here. So when you spend that much, you're still right there. You don't need to make this much and spend this much. So you make this much, you spend this much, then the car break down and you can't get it fixed. Or somebody gets sick. Or your other half lose their job. Or you lose your job. They lay you off. And you've been living paycheck to paycheck. And if you're a man, how you going to lead a queen? When you letting the queen do that, you ain't teaching her nothing because people are not paying attention and economics is funny. The tariffs have hurt these white farmers. They're going flat broke, losing their farms left and right. The news media just telling you Trump, Iran. They're not telling you nothing. People are losing their shirts off their back. Stores are closing left and right. Walgreens are closing left and right. McDonald's is barely making any money. I'm telling y'all, sit your ass down and save your money because the economy is going to tank. And you need to have your fingers crossed and try to save a year or 2 years worth of expenses. And when they say, girl, you want to go here? No. because I do not want to be out here chasing, trying to figure out what I'm going to do when this collapse. I want to be able to sit on, have my rice, my beans put up already, and be able to sit on and wait out the collapse. I do not want to lose my job and have to move 2 months later. Hell no. If I lose my job, I want to have my mortgage or my rent for at least 16 months to 2 years. And that means if I got to sit down, then I'm finna sit down. Now I'm going to work overtime. When I get enough money where I can say I can live a year, then I'm going to try to make it to 2 years. If I get to 2 years, I might mess around. Now, when I get to a year, I might blow a month's worth. So now I got enough for 11 months. But listen, once I blow that month's worth, go on a vacation. When I come back, what I'm going to be on? Am I going to blow another month's worth? No. I'm going to know I got 12 months worth of money. I feel like I got a little pillow. I'm going to blow a month. And then if I blow a month worth of money, when I get back, am I going to have any fun? Once I go have my month worth of fun, y'all answer in the chat. When I get back, am I going to try to have some more fun and some more fun and some more? No, that fun going to be it. So I ain't saying don't have no fun. I'm saying you trying to have fun and 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 fun. It ain't that much fun in the world. That's what I'm saying. I ain't got no problem with having fun. The point is you having fun, which is cutting into your savings, which could make you homeless when you get through playing. This is not a joke. The landscape of female homelessness has several distinct features. Single women and mothers. Single women and mothers with children make up 2 of the fastest growing groups of unhoused people. Domestic violence. Nationally, domestic violence is one of the leading causes of homelessness for women and children, with research indicating a high rate of severe physical abuse among unhoused women. This is not a joke. I'm telling you this for a reason. I know y'all like, why he's so intense. Some of my subjects is urgent. Those that's watching the news, those that's watching what's going on in Iran, those that know about what's happening with the gas, that they cutting the gas, those know. Those that's on social media watching all the preppers that's just popping out, watching everybody tell you how to store food all of a sudden. Y'all ain't noticed that? Y'all ain't noticed that people is out here storing food? More people? Way more people. Y'all ain't noticed that? And how long I've been telling y'all to prep? And you don't notice the men that been coming over here taking this like a joke, sending you off? You know about the story about the ants and the grasshopper? Where the ants was storing all the food for the winter? And the grasshopper like, you ain't got to do that. You need to enjoy the summer. You need to enjoy yourself. And winter came, and the grasshopper went to the ants' place where they lived and asked them, could he get some food? And the ant said, no, because while we was working, you was playing. Save your money. And yes, for emergency situation, but as a hustler, y'all got to become hustlers. Hustling ain't always illegal. Hustling is legal too. And when you hustle, you sit still and you build up a nest egg. That's hustling 101. You don't spend nothing. This is the key to hustling. You keep your eye on how much coming in and you regulate how much coming in compared to how much going out. This is how you hustle. So you got to sit down and you got to start find out how much money going out. That's the first thing you need to do in the morning. Sit down and write down how much money are you spending a month. That need to be wrote down. Because if you don't look at it, you ain't going to get it. You need to sit down. You need to write down all your expenses, including how much food you think you're going to eat, how much you're going to pay for toilet paper, everything, gas, write it all down and get a total. How much do I spend a month? Then you need to write down how much do I make a month? And then you need to subtract what you spend from what you make so you can see it. And some of you going to be surprised when you look. You're going to have $35 left. Because you're going to be to wrote down all that unnecessary, write down all the unnecessary stuff too. Dinners you go to, events you go to, the extra driving you do with your car, putting extra gas in your car. Write that all down and then look and see how much money is left. Then that money that's left, multiply that by 12. And that's how much money you'll be to saved at the end of the year. And you might not like that number. So if you don't like that number, you need to start scratching stuff. Okay, I don't got to keep buying these clothes. I ain't even wearing the clothes I got. You know, a lot of people buying clothes don't really get their money out of the clothes they already bought. A lot of people's buying dinners for no reason. A lot of people is spending recreation money that they really can't afford. But because they thinking paycheck to paycheck, and they got the attitude, everything gonna be all right. I'll be fine till the next paycheck. You can never think like that medically or financially. Are you going to be all right next pay period? Or are you going to have to go to the hospital? Are you going to have to go to the dentist for emergency? Are you going to have a fire? Are you going to have a break-in? If you have a break-in, are they going to be able to find your money? Do you have fireproof bags you can put your money in? Do you have a safety deposit box in case the bank is acting crazy where you could just go turn the key and get money? Oh, you're not doing all that. Okay. Okay, I get it. Because this is going to say millions, but they never tell you how many millions. But I hope y'all learn from this. I can tell you this. This is a 911. I can tell you that. I can tell you this. This is a 911. That's a fact. So you better start getting your bug out gear ready. You better start getting your survival stuff ready. You better have some extra beans, not just extra money. You better save your money and you better get you some food you can store up. And you better start thinking long term and stop taking life for granted. And for you young generation, this should definitely make sense for y'all because maybe about 20 years ago, people be like, but for y'all generation, you could see it. You see Iran, you see the Gulf close, you see they cutting the gas up to 15%. They was cutting it 10%, now 15%, saying if you got an old car, y'all could see it. Anybody now they can't see where we at? Slow. And what I'm telling you, you need to be doing anyway. This is hustling. This is survival, but it's also hustling 101. Money attracts money. When you spend money, it pulls the money. Okay? So if I got $10,000 and I sit on it, it'll pull 11, 12. If I got $10,000 and I spend 1,000, I'll notice it's trying to pull another 500 and another. Y'all ain't noticed that? Like the elements of the universe and the system we live in, once you put it out, you never notice how hard it is to stop the leakage? Have you ever saved any money? And then something happened, you had to spend some. You haven't noticed it's hard to cut that off? Y'all ain't noticed that? Real talk, you ain't noticed that when you have to like spend for something, you ain't never noticed that now you got to spend for something else and something else just come from nowhere. You ain't noticed, man. You ain't noticed that? And it's hard to stop the leakage. And you have to like buckle all the way down and hit the brakes real hard and pump the brakes. And then it kind of stop. And then you ever notice, like if you had 10,000 and something happened and you went down to 7, you ain't noticed how hard it is to get back to 10? Y'all ain't never noticed that? You be at 10,000 saved. Something happened, you spend 7. You've never noticed that money's trying to go to 5? That money is not trying to go to 8, 9, 10. You ain't never noticed that? Y'all ain't never noticed that? You got 10,000. Something happened and you spend 3. So you at 7. You ain't noticed that money don't want to go 8. That money want to go 6. I'm the only one I'm talking about. I don't know. You ain't never noticed that you be doing fine, saving money, you get up to 10. Something happened, you go down to 7. You thinking that it was moving smooth up to 10, so when it go down to 7, it should move back up. It go down to 7, then the brakes go out on the car. Then something else. You look up, by the time you stop it, you be down to $4,000. Now you tell me I'm lying. I'm the only one? Man, when you look up, you be down to $4,000. Am I lying? And you don't, and it be stuff you don't want to do either. It's not like you like, yeah, no, it just keep taking it. I ain't talking about you partying. I'm talking about you got 10. You go down to 7. You on the same program. You still trying to save. I'm not talking about you jagging money out. No. This happened then. This happened. Like stuff out the blue. I tell this story all the time. I got $10,000. I go spend three. I be driving my car. My car parts start talking to each other. Pharaoh had 10,000. Now he down to 7. We should break on his ass, right? I need to do this cartoon. It'd be fly. So the car start talking to each other. The brakes be like, well, I'm good. He just changed me, right? And then the engine be like, I'm good though. Then the alternator be like, I'll break on his ass. That's what it feel like. It feel like my car parts be having a conversation on who gonna take some more money. They be like, Pharaoh had 10, he down to 7. He think he gonna get back up to 10. Somebody break on him. This how my car. I be feeling like this how my cars be. Somebody break on him. And they be like, the alternator be like, I'll break on him. Or if don't nobody break, they be like, let's put the vibe out there. Let's have somebody run into him. All that. When he parked, let's have somebody bust his windows out. The car tells somebody, hey, bust this window out on this mark ass dude, Pharaoh. He ain't getting back to no 10,000. He got 7. We gonna knock his ass down to 5. And then if the car won't take me down, then the house be like, the car talk to the house like, Pharaoh had 10. He think he gonna get back up to 10. He think he gonna get to 15. None of us want to break. The house be like, well, the gutters is kind of fill up in the basement. You want me to flood it? You want to, I'll have the plumbing go out. But just don't be the car, it'd be everything around you be conspiring. I don't know, that's what it felt like to me. And so you constantly hitting the brake, trying to stop the money from going down. And the money be like, you're like, dang, I got to get back up to 10. I'm down to 7. Then they go down to 6. And you be trying to stop that. You be trying to stop. You be trying to stop it. And then finally, sometimes you stop it. It get down to 5,500. And then you go to 6 and 7. And then sometimes you get it back. But it takes forever. All of that. Somebody need money, like your mama, somebody you got to send it to. And it's like pulling teeth. It could take you 6, 8 months to get back to 10. Last time you went to 7 to 10 in 3 months. This time you spent 3, you trying to get back to 10. It takes 5 months. I am not lying. So now I try to have enough money where when life pull that on me, I got 13,000 and it jagged me off down to 10 where it ain't so low. Because like when you dealing with money, there's certain levels. And you try to stay over 10 no matter what. So that's why when you get 10,000, you don't go start playing, you get up. So in other words, they say, well, Pharaoh, if you got 10,000 and your wife want to go on a vacation for 3,000, you ain't gonna take her? Listen, if I got 10,000 and my wife want to go on a vacation or my woman and it's gonna cost 3,000, she gotta wait till I make that other 3. She gotta wait till I get to 13. Facts. Y'all see what I'm trying to teach y'all? I get up to 10. She want to go on a trip. Cool. But I gotta make that 3. I'm not finna spend that 3 out of this. Okay, I'll go spend the 3. I gotta make that 3. I'm not gonna go down to 7 and gotta make it. Let me make it, right? I gotta make that 3. I gotta make that 3. All right. I want to buy some jewelry. It's going to cost 2,000. I got 10. Let me make 12 and buy the jewelry. Facts. Because it's easy to spend it, but it ain't easy to get it back. And your job is based on your boss. That'll be the day your boss call you and say, listen, we got cutbacks. We got to lay a lot of people off. Sorry, I got to let you go, Pharaoh. I ain't kidding. And right now, under this economy, sit your ass down and save your money. They say, Pharaoh, but there's some I want to jump in, so go take a walk. Do something that's free. Go bike ride. Young people, look at me and look at the world, watch the news, watch what's going on, and know when the economy is good and when the economy is bad. And the economy is bad right now, with no promises of it getting good. It's looking like it's going to get worse. It's looking like when everybody start driving, gas going to be $8 a gallon. That's what it's looking like. Because if gas is almost $6 and summer come, it's not going down. It's not going down. Listen, y'all, I done told you. I went out my way or something to go to my audience and tell them, to warn them, because I'm always looking out for my subscribers. And I already know I'm the eyeball out. I'm not talking about what's popular, but I don't care. As long as the people that's watching me learn, that's all that matters. The other stuff don't matter. You understand? I'm telling you how I'm thinking. And money, this ain't it. If I wanted to go on vacation, it damn sure wouldn't happen in 2026. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't tell you no lie. I ain't tell no lie. All that, you gotta live your life. Let me tell you something. I got friends that say they gotta live their life. They went and lived their life, didn't have no money, didn't put no roof on their house. Roof fell in, destroyed all their clothes, and then they still was alive but miserable. So they went and had fun, messed their money up. They didn't die, and now they was miserable. Anytime you live in your life based on you might die, that's the dumbest thing you could ever do. Live your life based on you might live. You gonna live. Don't never live your life based on, well, you gotta live your life before you die. Listen, when it comes to eating, there's people that do that. You're gonna die anyway. And next thing you know, they got a colostomy bag for 7 years. Boo-booing out their stomach. You ain't gonna necessarily die anyway. A lot of times you're gonna live poor, homeless, or sick. Who said you're gonna just die? That's not true. People just don't die from cancer. They be sick a long time. This is a fact. Sometimes for years, they be in misery. So plan to live. Make great decisions. And in 2026, know that ain't nothing sweet. Because this number is going to go up. And the system is going to start hunting these people, making them get out of these parking lots. And a lot of them are going to be victims of all kind of bad crimes because they living in their cars. And that's just one. I might do one tomorrow because lots of Americans are now living in hotels. I'll do that one tomorrow. Yes, they living in hotels, so they don't got to pay no electric bill, no gas bill. They get free internet, free TV. So a lot of people are moving into hotels because the cost of living is too high. The companies ain't paying. And AI gonna get all the top jobs, all the hard jobs. So they ain't finna pay you nothing. You know how much it costs to get a McDonald's meal now? Watch this. Look, you think I'm playing? I asked it, is a meal from McDonald's more expensive now? Yes. McDonald's meals are significantly more expensive. Across the U.S., menu prices have jumped roughly 40 to 50%. 40 to 50%. That means $7 is $10. 40 to 50% compared to pre-pandemic levels. While average combo meals previously hovered at 5 to 7, standard Big Mac and quarter pound meals now frequently cost $10 to $12, depending on your local franchise. Now, if it's $10 to $12 now, what is it finna be? What is it finna be? If it's 10 to 12 now, what is finna be? What is finna be? I'm telling you, it's going to be too much and ain't nobody going to be buying it, and they're going to start closing McDonald's, and then people that work at McDonald's going to what? Lose their jobs. And if those people that work at McDonald's lose their jobs and they haven't been trying to save any money, then they're going to end up what? Homeless. It's trickle down. Am I lying? McDonald's is going to start, is losing money already. Their sales is going down because it's too expensive. So now people going to have to go, they're going to send people home. And when they send them people home, who's going to pay their bills, their rent, and all that? Who? They're going to be homeless. Many of them is working 2 jobs, right, to make it anyway. So imagine what's going to happen. Then they got people staying in these new places they got to stay where you just get a bed. So it's like 2 of y'all in the bed, and it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then there's 1 bathroom and shower, and y'all take turns. Y'all seen those? It's just a bed. Y'all seen those new living quarters? It's just a bed, and there'll be 10 of y'all in an area, and then 1 bathroom, shower. Then over here on the other side of the building, there's 10. Y'all seen those? Where you just got a bed and a curtain, and you in there with 9 more people or 6 more people. They got them over here. They got them over here too. Oh, yeah. And homeless people is everywhere. People got to live with relatives. People are moving in together. People are moving in together. Here in Chicago, people are going and brothers are going and doing crimes so they could go to the county jail. Listen, let me tell you something else. I was in the county jail for 3 months. They lowered my bond. I paid it. I got out. When you pay your bond in the county jail, it could take 10 hours before they say, okay, Pharaoh. So after 5 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, I don't know how long it was, they called my name. Now it takes forever to process you in, and it takes forever to process you out. Now listen to this real close. So I'm processing out, take off my Department of Correction clothes, get my clothes, the whole thing, and check you and search you, all this. So now I'm at the last phase where I'm down here. They give me a piece of paper. I got to show it at this desk, and they're going to let me out. And they let me out. I just walk with that piece of paper and show it at the guard at the gate. I'm outside now, and then I'm out once I cross that gate. So we all standing at the desk trying to get that piece of paper that we got to show outside the jail. They want to make sure you ain't escaped. So there's a dude, it's a dude, and then it's another dude in front of me. So I'm the third person. So the person that's two in front of me, he's next. They say, you next. And the brother started crying. Listen to this story. They say, you next to leave the county jail. The brother two in front of me, when he got up to his turn, he started crying hard, boo-hooing loud. They said, what's wrong? He said, where am I going to go? Are you listening to me? You can't make this up. This is like a horror movie. I'm the second person here, and it's him. He starts crying. And he says to them, where am I going to go? I don't have any place to go. The guards didn't know what to say. They was like, and he was totally disrupted. He did not want to leave the county jail. For sure, he broke the law as soon as he got out. For sure, he went and got arrested. For sure. For sure, he went and got arrested. And probably did something where he can get more time. He probably tried to get 5 years or something. I ain't lying. You can't make this stuff up. So people are going to be doing crimes. Crimes could happen to you because people are going to want to go to prison and jail because they ain't going to be able to survive in this system.